What's going on, guys? Jay here. The Nintendo DS was one of my favorite consoles. It's pretty neat to work in the industry when the console first came to be, because the initial test kits we got were just like cardboard frames with a motherboard in it with two screens on it. It was bizarre before we actually got the actual consoles in to work off of. Today, I want to talk to you about 5 of my favorite hidden gems on the console, including one game I actually worked on. If you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing, and now, let's take a look at 5 hidden gems for the Nintendo DS. Alright, before we get too far into it, guys, I do want to point out that I captured this footage using an emulator rather than directly off the screen because I really wanted it to look good for you guys. I wasn't too satisfied with the appearance of my 3DS video I did a few months ago, so I really wanted this to look good for you. Rest assured, I do own the physical copies of these games. I just wanted to make sure that we had the best visuals possible to show you what the games look like. And also, that's why you're going to see a mouse pointer show up to click the screen every once in a while. Alright, this one might cause some heads to turn a little bit because I think everyone has played this game in one way, shape, or form on a mobile device, but Plants vs. Zombies on the DS, I'm not gonna lie to you, I love it. A lot of people think it runs slow and that it doesn't look as good, but I really like the sprite work in this game, and I think it looks really good. Now, there are some differences between the mobile game and this one. You only get 9 seed slots instead of 10, which makes things a little bit more difficult, and it feels like the combat area is a little more crunched down, making things a little more compact and a little more difficult to deal with. But honestly, the game is really well made. The music is good. All of the different things that you want to be in here are in here. You have the almanac, you have the different game modes, there are achievements to unlock. It's really well done. And the touchscreen is used in full effect here. It works so much better than anything on the PC. It's a little more tactile, a little more comfortable to use than using a mouse and keyboard. It feels like a mobile game on a DS because honestly, that's what it is. But that's not a bad thing in this case. Plants vs. Zombies DS is fantastic to play. So it turns out that the way to make me like an underwater Mario level is to put a charming starfish as the protagonist and make the game goofy as hell. And you've got a winner. This is kind of a forgotten series by Nintendo outside of Japan. This is the 5th entry into the Densetsu no Starfy series called the Legendary Starfy here in the States. And honestly, guys, this game is wonderful. I really did not know if I was going to like this as much as I did when I picked it up. I grabbed it because of the charming cover. I really like the art style of this game. And I was kind of concerned. I was like, well, this is going to be nothing but underwater Mario levels. I'm going to end up hating it. But this plays so well. Like, everything in the game is balanced very well for the controls, and everything makes sense to the way you play. Starfy has all kinds of different attacks he can unlock, as well as different costumes that give him powers that he can use in the game. There's also a bunch of different branching paths on the overworld map, so you can find secret exits and entrances, just like you can in Super Mario World. It takes all the best elements of action platforming from Mario, and adds a charming coat of paint on it, with a wonderful character, and a wonderful starfish named Starfy. I wish we had gotten more games from the Starfy series here in the States, but if you can find this for your DS, you won't be disappointed. There was a time where Disney Interactive made some incredibly ambitious games, and Spectrobes is one of those. At its core, the game is a sci-fi action game. A sci-fi action exploring game, really. You're going to different planets, you're battling enemies, and you're trying to defeat the big bad. It's as basic a game as you can get. It is the absolute blueprint of what a game should be. There's a clear threat, there's a clear path forward, and there's a clear enemy to defeat at the end. It works. But where Spectrobes gets ambitious was when it takes those action elements and tosses in a crazy version of Pokemon that I did not expect when I picked it up. One of the neat things about this game is that you discover fossils, and the fossils that you discover and you drill out can be used to incubate and unlock to find different creatures that will fight with you. And one of the cool things about this is you actually get some different lenticular cards in the package that actually help you unlock different things in the touchscreen. You overlay them on the touchscreen and there are holes in the cards to show you where to tap and where to drill to find particular fossils. It's absolutely brilliant. And the game itself is really fun. There's some people that don't care for the combat style, but I actually thought it was pretty clever. You control both your character and 2 Spectrobes that follow along. You attack with the Spectrobes using the left and the right shoulder buttons on the DS. It's great. Spectrobes is a fun game, and honestly, you can get it for so cheap now, it's hard not to take a flyer on it. So what happens when you take an action RPG with turn-based elements and throw it into ancient Greece? you come up with The Glory of Heracles, another forgotten franchise that Nintendo has just kind of abandoned here in the States. Glory of Heracles is brilliant. I actually first learned about this game in the back of a comic in, I think, 2009. I saw this ad for a Nintendo game on the DS called Glory of Heracles, and I was like, wow, what is this? I'm definitely interested in it. The DS was my main console at the time, and I was absolutely on board with bringing along an RPG set in ancient Greece. This is a game where you're going to go through and you're going to find all kinds of characters and events happening from Greek mythology, from Achilles to nymphs to Hercules himself to the influence of Daedalus and Zeus. It is a wonderful game. One of the other things I really like about it is actually it makes active use and clever use of the touchscreen. There are different mini games in play whenever you cast a spell that uses the touchscreen, which you're seeing here. You're going to be able to use one of those to power up your spells when you cast. It makes things a little more interesting and kind of keeps you on your toes. Of course, one of the other nice things about that is that the game doesn't require you to do this. So if you want to just beg off and say, no, we're just going to go with a standard cast, you can do that and everything's good to go. Glory of Heracles is a wonderful game and definitely worth checking out for your DS. One of my proudest moments working in the video game industry was getting to work on Henry Hatsworth in the Puzzling Adventure. I can almost guarantee that you have never played this game. Very few of you have in the grand scheme of things, but I can tell you right now, this is a game you need to track down and you need to play. Half action platformer, half match 3 puzzle game. Henry Hatsworth in the Puzzling Adventure is one of the finest games I've ever played, and it's not just because I worked on it. I truly loved every second of this game. When I worked on it, it was difficult, but it was a challenge that I wanted to keep with and stick through because of how good it is. The art style is impeccable, the music is magnificent. If you can find the soundtrack anywhere online, do yourself a favor and download it because it is absolutely brilliant. And the people behind this game went on to make incredible games like Little Inferno, World of Goo, and things like that. Kyle Gray is a genius, and I really think that anyone that plays Hatsworth will understand the inherent charm and wonder of playing this game. Tea time isn't far away. Be sure to charge up your meter, unlock your giant robot, and go to town. Henry Hatsworth in the Puzzling Adventure is brilliant. So there you have it, guys. My first 5 hidden gems for the Nintendo DS. Now, I'll be honest with you, this could have gone on for hours. There are so many great games on the system, even though you do have to wade your way through a river of shovelware garbage to get to the truly good stuff. There's some fantastic games on here. I know a lot of people have played Plants vs. Zombies on mobile, but this is a nice take on it. It's a little bit different, a little more compact, and a little more frantic. Henry Hatsworth in the Puzzling Adventure is one of my proudest moments of working in the industry, and a game I truly adore and think that a lot of people would really love, blending a solid mix of platforming and puzzle. Spectrobes is an excellent game. There's some really neat elements in play, just being an awesome action RPG. But these guys here, these little cards you actually put over the touchscreen on the DS, those are specific spots you can touch to unlock different fossil abilities. Legendary Starfy is a wonderful platform game from Nintendo, and The Glory of Heracles is one of my favorite hidden gems in a fantastic forgotten franchise from Nintendo. But I want to hear from you. What are your favorite hidden gems for the DS? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything we've got going on. Until next time, guys, I have been Jay. Play more games, stay square, and take care. We'll talk to you soon.